Welcome one and all, some call me Brooksy, the rest call me Cunt, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Aprilia's latest addition to their lineup, the RS660. Aprilia's RS660 is a 659cc parallel twin-engine sports bike that's launch has already got it placed highly in the forefronts of motorcycle lovers' minds. Prior to the launch of the RS660, I was completely unaware that the sports bike category was one which was slowly declining in sales. The RS660 seems to have actually rekindled the love which some riders have for the middleweight sports bike by not only making the bike quick and punchy and also incredibly pleasing to look at, they've actually made it usable on the road and designed it so that people who are larger than the size of a horse jockey can actually ride this. As previously mentioned, the RS660 is a 659cc parallel twin sports bike. It has 100 horsepower and 67 Nm of torque, which will push you all the way up to 140 miles an hour, perfect for those looking for a stepping stone into the world of sports bikes. Another key spec to mention about the RS660 is the weight, or in this instance the lack of. It comes in at 183 kilograms wet, which means if you two share the same lack of muscles that I do, the RS660 will allow you to manhandle it around your drive, but will also give you permission to quickly flick it from one lean angle to the next. Before we get stuck into the incredible array of electronics that comes as standard on the RS660, I want to talk about the ride position. Many of those fortunate enough to ride the pre-production models of this bike all seem to share the same enthusiasm for the comfortable riding position the bike puts you in. The pegs have been positioned lower down than what you would normally find on your typical sports bike, so your legs aren't going to be as cramped up together as what they usually would be, and the tank has been sculpted so that your legs have somewhere to tuck in nice and close to the bike. Finally, the handlebars aren't as aggressively placed as what you would typically find on your sports/super sports bike. On most sports and super sports bikes, you'll find yourself hunched down behind the screen with your arms tucked in close to your sides. The RS660 permits a slightly raised and upright position, similar to what a sports tourer would offer. The base model of the RS660 comes with an abundance of electronics, including 3 road riding modes with an additional 2 track riding modes, traction control, wheelie control, engine braking control, a blip shifter so it allows you to not only smash through the gears as you're yeeting it, but also downshift with ease as you're setting up for the next corner, self-cancelling indicators, a TFT screen with fuel gauge, and if that wasn't enough for you, the bike also comes with cruise control. Now the RS660 does have some pretty fierce competition to live up to, including the Kawasaki ZX6R, the Yamaha R6 and the Honda CBR650R. The RS660 seems to be set up to try and take on as much of the competition as possible, the ZX6R being the more track orientated and the Honda CBR650R being the more road orientated. The RS660 seems to combine both of them into one great package. The riding position that the RS660 puts you in, combined with the 3 road riding modes and the cruise control, is screaming to the buyer that I can do long trips. The collective electronic assist permits riders who are new to the sports bike world a chance to get their foot into the door, and should they get slightly too confident in their riding ability, have that safety net of the assists ready to kick in to keep the bike upright. Although Aprilia are definitely trying their hardest to make sure that this bike is incredibly fun to use on the road, they've also added a couple of extra key features for those who want to take the bike out onto the track. As I've already mentioned, the Aprilia RS660 does come with an additional 2 track riding modes for those who do want to take the bike out onto the track. On top of that, you do get the blip shifter, but Aprilia have also got a couple of track orientated accessories which you can purchase at an additional cost. The first optional extra you can purchase if you have track use in mind is the software to add a pit speed limiter. It goes without saying that if you're seriously looking to compete, this optional extra is a must, as is the option to remap the gearbox from the standard gearbox to a race gearbox mapping. A couple of bits of miscellaneous information to mention is that you can get close to 190 miles out of a tank before it gets empty. You can achieve on average around about 57 miles per gallon according to the official spec sheet, and if you're planning on doing your A2 license or have an A2 license, Aprilia will be producing a version that can be restricted to make it A2 license friendly. It also has daytime running lights, cornering lights, and all for £10,150. Moving away from the abundance of technology though, the RS660 comes in a choice of 3 different colour schemes: Acid Gold, Apex Black and Lava Red. Without a doubt, Aprilia have created a very pleasing bike to look at thanks to its sports styling and full LED arrays front and back to give it that modern touch. So there you have it, the Aprilia RS660, the bike which is shaping up to be a confident contender for King of 2020 releases. Let us know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Is the RS660 the bike to revive the middleweight sports bike category, or is there another contender you feel is better suited for the job? If you found yourself enjoying today's video and you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the B-Bros and smash that like button. Don't forget to also enable notifications to be alerted instantly when a new video hits the channel. As always, I hope you have yourself an incredible day and we'll catch you in the next one.